Hello and welcome. My name is Biagio Mazza, Pastoral Associate at St. Sabina Parish in Belton, Missouri, and I'm here to welcome you to another Do You Know series question. Today's Do You Know series question is, do you know the meaning and significance of the Scrutiny Sundays during the season of Lent? In order to understand this, it's important to recall that in our liturgical year we have two festal seasons. The seasons of Christmas, prepared for by Advent and celebrated all up to and inclusive the feast of the baptism of the Lord, and the festal season of Easter, which is prepared by 40 days of Lent and celebrated for 50 days up to and including the feast of Pentecost. So in order to really understand the meaning and significance of Scrutiny Sundays, it's important to recall that during Lent, the early church during Lent used the period of Lent as a primary focus of preparing people for Christian initiation at the Easter Vigil. Usually catechumens, those who had never been baptized and desired to become part of the church, were in preparation for anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Essentially immersing themselves in the Christian lifestyle and the values, prayers, devotions, and activities, as apostolic activities that the Christian community was involved in. During the season of Lent, the immediate preparation before their initiation at the Easter Vigil, this 40-day period became a period of intense preparation for a period of purification of themselves and enlightenment as they prepared themselves for full initiation. Now, the early church believed that because of their total commitment of their lives to Christ, that Satan, who was very active during this time, Satan really worked overtime as people tried to commit themselves completely to Christ, and that Satan would place obstacles in the path of those who wanted to be fully initiated at the Easter Vigil. He would place obstacles in their path to have them rethink or fall back to their old ways or whatever it might be. And so what the community decided to do is they decided that as they got closer to the Easter Vigil on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Sundays of Lent, they called them Scrutiny Sundays, in which they asked the catechumens, now known as the elect, those chosen for initiation, they asked the elect to really focus and scrutinize their lives to see and remove, if you want, all those things that would be obstacles in their way to fully committing themselves to God, to rid themselves of their old ways of thinking and to enter into a relationship with Christ and Christ's way of living life. And so they would ask them to scrutinize and ask God to lift those obstacles from their lives. And the community itself, they would gather in the presence of the community, and the community would pray that God would purify them and enlighten them on their journey as they moved towards the Easter Vigil. And so Scrutiny Sundays became a period of time of scrutinizing anything that was in their lives that was contrary to Christ and rededicating themselves once again to living the way Christ wanted to as they prepared for the Easter Vigil initiation. During the revision of the lectionary of the Second Vatican Council, there were 3 lectionary cycles, lectionary year A, B, and C, but the cycles for Lent, especially the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Sunday during the lectionary year A, were focused almost exclusively, they are exclusively focused on baptismal preparation. They centered on narratives, gospel narratives from the Gospel of John, in which they focused on the baptismal themes. The 3rd Sunday was always focused on the Samaritan woman at the well. The 4th Sunday was focused always on the curing of the blind man in chapter 9 of John's Gospel. And then The fifth Sunday was focused on the raising of Lazarus from the dead in chapter 11 of John's Gospel. Each one of these specified a key focus of what Jesus did for us in our relationship with him. Jesus is the source of our living water. Jesus is the source of new sight and new awareness and new depth of seeing. And Jesus is the source of new life constantly. So these three key themes became a source of enlightenment for those who were preparing for the baptismal initiation at the Easter Vigil, enabling them to see what it was that Christ does for us in our relationship with him as we fully commit ourselves to him. So Jesus is the one who becomes the key focus of our baptismal commitment, in that he enlightens and brings us living water, opens our eyes, and raises us to new life. So this is the meaning of the Scrutinies, and I hope that has helped you understand Scrutiny Sundays. And each year, as you go through the Lenten season, pay attention to the third, fourth, and fifth Sunday, especially if you have catechumens in your parish, and see how they really focus, those 3 Sundays really focus on purification, removing the obstacles for their life, and enlightenment through the gospel narratives. I hope this has helped to explain a bit more of what Scrutiny Sundays are, and I hope you will come back again to more Do You Know series questions to enlighten your understanding of your faith and your relationship to God. Thank you very much.